Hello, hello, my darlings. I don't know if that beginning and me scuffing the opening of the live stream was maybe an omen of how this live is about to go. Completely left. Completely left. I accidentally hit it with the second opening, then the countdown first, but maybe it didn't show through because sometimes there is a lag when YouTube connects with the live actually going live. Hello, everyone who's come into the chat. Hello, all my friends. I'm so glad you all could be here. There's been some interesting news that has dropped today, and people are rejoicing about it. They're excited. I feel like they're getting overly excited about it, but well, you still got to wait and see, right? What am I talking about? So, news has been breaking all over the internet, social media, that Prince Andrew gives up his royal titles, including Duke of York, after his discussion with the king. And so far, there has been further announcements that he has given up his titles in Northern Scotland, and he will be given up his position in the Order of the Garter also. Prince Andrew put out a very, very pompous media statement that was embargoed till earlier today. Let me show this to you guys. This is this is interesting. To me, it feels like Charles maybe gave him an option where, let me just say that Charles would have had a lot better PR and it would have made him appear like he has a backbone. He is a strong king. If the media spin was that King Charles made or took away Andrew's titles, whereas now it's saying like, oh, Andrew has decided to relinquish the titles. It reminds me of like when Bravo celebrities or the Real Housewives get let go from their jobs. They allow them to put out a statement to say that they are the ones who are stepping back just to save face. And I feel like after everything Andrew has done, forget saving face for this goofball. Why don't you grow a pair, Charles, and make it look like you are the one in charge and you are the one who stripped him of his titles and his, and what he can do now, basically. So, what has happened is, well, let me show you. Let me see if I can show this. If I can't show this to those who are watching this in the replay, I might have to edit this out. So just watch and let's see what happens.
Because to be have the dukedom taken away from him would require an act of parliament. So he's just not going to use it. And so I suppose we can look forward to Mr. Andrew Windsor in future. I suppose the next and last humiliation will be his removal from the Royal Lodge, the Grace and Favour house that he has at Windsor Great Park. He has a lease on that for a number of years. They've been trying to winkle him out of there for a while.
That actually is we understand he has a private lease arrangement which lasts.
That private lease arrangement, whatever, Andrew doesn't need to be living in a massive 30-bedroom lodge when it's just him and Fergie. Who has ever heard of a royal divorce happening and then the ex-wife living on the grounds, living off of the royal family and all the benefits, still using all the titles and everything till this day? I've always said Andrew and Fergie are the OG grifters, and Harry and Meghan are just basically modeling themselves after them. Let's see what else this says.
Has a lease on that for a number of years. They've been trying to winkle him out of there for a while.
They should just stiff him in Frogmore Cottage. You don't get a choice, Andrew. Just go. You can't pay with the upkeep. When the Queen was alive, she was giving Andrew a substantial allowance at his big old age to keep up with the upkeep of the lodge and what it needed. Now he can't pay for it, so he should be stuck into Frogmore. Christine, thank you, my darling, says, hi, Molly. Keep up the good work towards your candy fund. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. I'm actually going to take the little one a little bit later to to the secret candy store. I've never taken him to my favorite candy shop, but later on he's going to get, well, a big surprise, that's for sure. We're going on an adventure later this evening after he's done school. So that will definitely come in handy. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me see what you guys are saying. Cinder, thank you for the compliment. There is no way Harry's first wife will ever let go of her title. Yeah, that's an obvious, but let's see what they're saying about Andrew, because I feel like this took too long for it to happen. Let me first show you his embargoed message, because in typical Andrew fashion, it is very pompous. It is very telling. It says, in discussion with the king and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, I mean, okay, you dork, to put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. Well, had you done that, you would have relinquished everything and you would have been taken off of the royal family website. Currently, at the moment, my darlings, I am on royal family website watch, let's call that. Hold on, let me pull it up. And I still see Andrew listed on the website. I still see Andrew listed as a royal member until he gets removed off the website, gets taken off of there as a member of the royal family. This means nothing to me, because you are still giving Andrew, like, you are still like, yeah, he's okay. We still accept him. He's still on the website. We still advocate for him. Sophie says, unfortunately, PA will be staying at Royal Lodge. Who is paying for its upkeep? Obviously, probably Charles, like he has been probably paying for Harry and Meghan's upkeep, like I've said for many of years now. And then, I mean, let's be honest. I've said for many years that Charles was taking care of Andrew when people said I was wrong. And then it came out that, look, Charles was paying for Andrew's private security, which leads me to believe that if Charles will pay for Andrew's private security, why wouldn't he pay for, Harry and Meghan's security in conjunction with California taxpayers? Gavin Newsom's government, Joe Biden's government, when they were in control, they were paying for Harry and Meghan's security. This all has to come out. Christine says he is only doing it because Virginia Giuffre's book is coming out. I'm not a fan of Virginia Giuffre either. Her hands are not clean in this sordid mess with the man that lived on the island. Her hands are not clean because she previously had said that she would take Jeffrey's limo out to Central Park to procure little girls to bring back to his place. I mean, she wants to pretend that she was a victim in the end of her life. No, you weren't a victim. You ran away from home. Your father would drop you off at his place. But anyways, that's maybe we'll do an entire members only chat about that, because it's been a while. It's been a long time and we should have a chit chat. She's bringing out a book. Hasn't she passed away? Yeah, she allegedly took her own life after she faked being injured in a car accident that never happened. She claimed that she was hit by a bus at like 50 miles an hour. Like, you would have been dead if that had happened. I feel like it's been, there are people in high places that have powers that can easily take people out and make it seem like you are the problem, like you did it on your own. I mean, it's a very dark, seedy underground. This world is crazy. This world has, I don't know, it's gone absolutely batshit wild, that's for sure. But while Andrew's titles, or he's given up his title, so that means they have clarified, and Kate Manzi mentioned it on Twitter. I think I did here. Let me share her Twitter here. And basically, now while Andrew has relinquished his titles, that also means Sarah will no longer be known as the Duchess of York. However, his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, remain wholly unaffected, which honestly, in my opinion, in one way, I understand, because it's not fair for the girls to be affected by their parents' bad decisions. However, when you look at Beatrice and Eugenie, they are doing the same things with their parents by going to the Middle East and having connections, by going to places like Qatar and Bahrain and having connections, opening up banks. I mean, they're kind of on the same path, in my opinion. I don't personally, myself, speaking for myself, I don't trust any of the Yorks. That's it. I don't trust any of them. If you remove the dad's title, the dad is the reason why they all have titles, right? If he gets the Duke of York title relinquished and he's given it up, allegedly, I'll believe it when I see it happen, and he's no longer listed as the Duke of York on the royal family website, shouldn't his daughters and his wife lose it as well? He's the reason why they have it. Why should they be able to keep it? Doesn't make sense, right? That's just how I think. I mean, let me know if I'm totally dumb and off the radar here and it doesn't make sense. But I understand if you want to be Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, because your father is a prince, so you are a blood princess, you don't get to be of York. You don't get to be Princess Eugenie of York or Princess Beatrice of York. I feel like, in my opinion, if this notice was being released today, they should have dealt with everything in one fell swoop and not like it feels like they just took a little swab of alcohol and just placed it over a wound and you get that initial burn, like, ow, it hurts. No, just cover the whole thing, just pour the alcohol on it and clean up the whole wound and be done with the mess. If you were going to have the Duke of York, Andrew, drop his titles, remove him off of the royal website as well, because as the moment, he is still listed on there as Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, as a member of the royal family. The issue here is that he should not be there. The same goes for Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are still listed on there and are still they're getting clout from the royal family. These three from the bottom should be removed, especially if this notice dropped now. This should have been gone off the royal family website at the same time. The same time that announcement was dropped by the media, his photo and his bio should have been gone off the royal website. If you want to deal with this in a clean manner, this is how you deal with it. Not like still leaving this up and just removing the Band-Aid halfway, right? I don't think I need a PR degree or a business degree or any kind of media training to say this would be a better look. Would it not? Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Look what we got going on here. We've got Katie Artist coming through with 10 MeghansMole memberships. Look at that. That is, yay. Thank you, Katie, for the 10 MeghansMole memberships. That is greatly appreciated, my friends. If any of you received one of those memberships from Katie, make sure you throw her a heart in the chat. Make sure you thank her. Thank you, Katie. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you kicked off a membership gifting spree. Who knows what happened? Who knows? One could only wish, but that is so kind of you, Katie. Thank you, my darling. That's kind of you. Yeah, I think now we definitely need to have a members only later on and have some serious discussions about Andrew and Meghan and the connections, and get a little bit more into a discussion about certain things that we can't get onto here. What happens to Fergie now? I don't know. Maybe she can find some toast to suck on and her and Andrew can share it on OnlyFans. Could you imagine if Andrew and Fergie opened up an OnlyFans? Hold on a second. I got to throw up. Gross. That is absolutely disgusting. If those two open up an OnlyFans, I would definitely throw up all over the place. Gross. Absolutely gross. But you know what? I have a feeling, and this is just my opinion. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I just goofed up on my computer here. What I think here is going on now is that Harry and Meghan could be shaking in their boots. They could be wondering if they could be on the chopping block next, especially since Meghan has been flaunting that title all over the place like she owns it. Like she is the actual Duchess of Sussex, despite only being to Sussex once. Once. That's it. And that was back in 2019. That was way back in the day, and they've never been there since now. You know what? Let me do this. You know what? Since my amazing mod decided to gift 10 memberships, let me gift 5 myself right now. There you go, my darlings. I hope you enjoyed that. I have gifted 5 of you lucky random individuals, 5 MeghansMole memberships. I've always said that the taxpayers, the UK taxpayers, should get their security funds be refunded. They coughed up over 30 million pounds for the security for Harry and Meghan's wedding when it was never necessary to spend that much money. $4.99 super sticker from Christine. Thank you, my darling. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. I saw that Lady C uploaded a video, something about how she shouldn't have believed the lies or what was said about Andrew, or that hold on, what was it said about? Let me find it here. Let me find it, because you want to make sure when it comes to Lady C, you want to make sure what you're saying is a fact, or unlike Sheer Denise, we all saw what happened there when she went after her, that poor girl, just for stating facts, right? Just for stating facts, saying here, her latest video, her title is Lady C says she'd never have defended Prince Andrew had she known he was lying about Epstein. Shut up. You knew he was lying about Epstein. Like, come on. Now you're trying to pretend like you didn't know. Yeah, right. Yeah, she is backtracking big time. She is. It's complete BS. Complete BS. You knew that Andrew is a dirty scallywag scoundrel. He is Randy Andy. It was absolute. Yeah, she blames Virginia. It's crazy, right? I mean, I blame Virginia for her own actions. She's not clean either. But let me get into the next topic here, because I wonder if Meghan is shaking in her boots only because Meghan has been flaunting the Duchess of Sussex title everywhere. And basically, without that title, who the hell would Meghan Markle be? The funny thing is that for someone who has her husband so wrapped up about worrying about security, worrying about being exposed, worrying about, we need to be safe. Meghan loves throwing her titles all over her handbags, garment bags, anything to let the public know, like, the Duchess of Sussex is here. Look at me, instead of being incognito. All while Prince Harry gets garment bags from the Men's Warehouse here. Do you guys remember this? Let me show you the article. It was about Katie. If you're looking for the article, it is posted in the description box below. So this article is from the Daily Mail, and this was from back in November 2021 when Harry and Meghan went to New York for a veterans event. And then they went off to a New Jersey Army base, which I want to know who the hell gave them the okay for that. Okay, because you can't just let any Tom, Dick, or Harry with cameras and video cameras onto an army base, taking photographs and recording. But we saw that Harry and Meghan, remember that was when Meghan showed up looking like a human blood clot, like her awkward tan that she had that we could see. Netflix cameras were there to catch it. This gentleman in the back works for he works for the US security. He is an agent. I have posted about him before, but he was there also. You can see he's looking straight in the camera. He knew they were there, but that they were walking into the veterans event. Ugh, what a terrible outfit to wear to a veterans event too, especially when red could set off PTSDs for veterans, right? I would never wear bright red like that. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yes, she looks like a human blood clot. I called her the moving period at the time. Also, definitely the devil wears red. Yes, we know all about that too. But this human period walked into a veterans event looking like a big blood clot and just looking a big mess. But we also, thanks to the Daily Mail, outed the fact that Meghan Markle carries a garment bag with her. Look, these stupid idiots were trying to hide their cameras underneath a coat like they were like dumbasses. Seriously, so dumb. So dumb. I hate these people that play on our intelligence like we don't know what they're doing. Is this Daniel in the foreground, guys? This has got to be Daniel, isn't it? I never noticed that. I'm noticing this now. Is that Daniel in the foreground right here? Daniel, who has now been markled, all because he shared the items, makeup items he used on Meghan Markle, and she got pissed off at him. How does that feel, Daniel, to be markled? It does look like his short, bald ass, doesn't it? It definitely does. But we did see that while Harry's clothes were rented from the men's warehouse, meaning 500,000 other people must have worn this, Meghan has her own custom bag with a royal monogram etched onto it. I mean, what an absolute loser. You know, when you have nothing else to give in this world, all you do is rely on those titles. And Harry, you know how dumb Harry is? I mean, you got a whole security case whining about security, and yet your wife is putting on display, oh, look, my bag is etched with the royal monogram. People who are walking by will know whose bag it is. They will know who it is so they can take photos and like be interested. Why not just get a unmarked garment bag? If you wanted a high-end one, Louis Vuitton makes garment bags. You could have one of those. Thank you, an old geezer, for the candy fund, my darling. That's very sweet of you. But you see how the royal gets cucked? Harry gets cucked again, gets put in the corner. You get a suit, a rented suit from the men's warehouse, while I get high-end couture, and you don't get that. What a loser. Any wife, if they actually loved their husband, she would elevate him on the same level. Like if you are dressed nicely to the nines, your husband should be dressed nicely to the nines. Your children should be dressed nicely to the nines, just like the Wales family. It's not like Catherine is jealous of her own children like how Meghan is. Meghan is such a nobody that she needs to get a Longchamp bag, the exact one that Catherine carries. However, she gets hers monogrammed with the DS title for Duchess of Sussex. And this isn't the first time they have done this crazy shit before, because let me pull this up for you, because Harry and Meghan are the type of losers that will even go as far as getting a doormat, a floor mat, somewhere that they rub their dirty feet on as they walk into a house on the floor. They had that etched with their monogram. Let me send it to myself here because apparently I didn't do it. So there's an image here of when Harry invited the big titty chick from the Telegraph. What's her name? Oh God, what's her name? Byrony Gordon. The woman who needs to, I don't know what is up with these ladies that talk with Harry, or even like Harry and Meghan's Sussex squad. I don't understand why they don't invest in a better fitting bra, something that will make it look like their breasts aren't social distancing from one another, one that would make it look like they were friends and not enemies. Give it some little bit, like your boobs should be sitting a little bit higher and not at your waist. Come on, take a little bit of care in yourself. But here you see in the background where Harry and Meghan have a monogram doormat where you can rub the shit off of your shoes onto this doormat before you enter into their home. Just think about the message that gives. Just think about the energy that you are bringing into this household. It's crazy. Renee says Meghan's kids are always barefoot in pajamas and hair in a comb. Hair, like their hair has never been combed, but yet the Duchess Scamalot wears $10,000 in apparel. It is, yeah, quite cringe, right? I mean, if I'm wearing nice clothes, my kids will be wearing nice clothes. If I'm dressed up, my child is going to be dressed up. Not constantly barefoot, no friends around, but stay tuned. I got a whole video based on that topic, okay? But this is crazy. This is who Harry and Meghan are. They have no other value to bring to this world or to give to anyone. So that's why they constantly use their monograms. Meghan is constantly using her title. Even this ridiculous dinner for someone who claims to love their children so much, who hasn't been home in the last month, basically, who hasn't interacted with her own children, decided after jaunting across Paris, and I know Meghan likes to claim, I went back home to California for a day before going to New York and off to Washington. No, you didn't, you lying sack of turds. You went straight from Paris to New York. You didn't go back to California at all. Who would want to make that flight all the way there? No, you didn't. You're full of it. And then Meghan goes to Emma Greed's dinner, which Emma Greed, mind you, is a WME client as well. Okay. And Meghan is on the invite as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Imagine, I've always said this, imagine sitting at a table full of actually accomplished women, and the only reason you are there is because Duchess of Sussex. That doesn't mean anything. That just means you fucked the right guy. I mean, Harry not being the right guy because he's so dumb. That's why I say he's the wrong guy. But seriously, you think that's a flex? It's not a flex at all. Not a flex. Meghan, I'm only here. I only have a seat at the table because of the guy that I banged. And then I want to cosplay that I'm an entrepreneur. Honestly, as a woman who's a single mother who has been busting my ass on my own, who runs a business on my own, I find it very offensive what Meghan is doing, because she wouldn't know what it's like to have nights where you're actually crying over your table because shit, it just isn't working. You're behind the bills. Your kid is stressing you out. You're trying to wonder how you're going to pay for things. There are nights where you have moments where the best place to cry is in the shower, because you know then your little one won't hear you when you're doing it. And trust me, I've had many, many nights like those, okay? Many. And now, what am I doing? Like today, I've been busy wrapping up presents because my child is invited to birthday parties. Meghan Markle doesn't talk about going to birthdays or anything because she has a whole fleet of staff who are taking care of invisible, phantom, surrogate-born children. And this is why I also think why I believe Meghan Markle never gave birth to those children, because you see how disconnected she is with them. You see that there is no connection or anything. I can never go like a night without, like, when I travel for work, I make sure I'm not gone for longer than 2 sleeps, because I just start getting like I need to get home and see my kid. I need to get home and see my little one. I miss him. I miss that little gremlin and the four-legged furball too. But yet Meghan Markle can be away for like over a month at a time, and I bet you she's not reading those books or recording anything of her reading any books, or, you know, that's why I think she had it by surrogate also. And her many slip-ups, and the fact that she can't ever really talk about her pregnancy without, well, it not being true. That's because you're a real mother, Molly. It's hard being a real mother. I have so much respect for women that, like, I only have one, and some days I feel like ripping my hair out. I've had the nights where you're crying because your kid's been crying for hours and you don't know what to do, right? I've had like the struggles. I always, whenever I see some mothers with like 2 under 2, or like multiples under a young age, I'm like, look, shout out to you. I don't know how you do it. It's crazy. Anyways, my darlings, I'm just saying Harry and Meghan should be worried, because Meghan has been feasting, living off of the Duchess of Sussex titles, and it's gotten to the point where you just look stupid now. You're going to Paris Fashion Week, contacting fashion designers, meeting invites to parties. Who has ever heard of a royal needing an invite? Ever? Absolutely ridiculous. I see all the hearts. Thank you, my darlings. You guys are so sweet. I love you all. Yes, Emma was recently named as an ambassador for the King's Trust. Yeah, the King's Trust. And the crazy thing is that even Katy Perry, King Charles named her as an ambassador for his British Asian Trust, despite Katy Perry not being British or Asian. She was born in the States. She's a born and bred American girl. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, my darlings, I just wanted to say that Harry and Meghan should definitely be shaking in their boots with what has been going on, with the fact that Andrew is giving up his titles. But personally, myself, until I see Andrew removed off of the royal family website, let me take a look right now. Royal UK website. Let me take a look. Let me see if Andrew has been removed, because the only time I will take this seriously is when that actually happens. Royal family, role of the royal family, members of the royal family. Still not. Oh, look, they're still there. So, until Andrew gets removed as a member of the royal family, I still believe that the royal family endorse him as the Duke of York. And if they were serious about it, they would have done it at the same time. This just looks like sloppy work, in my opinion. Sloppy work. They shouldn't wait for the book to drop on Tuesday. They should just do it now at the same time as releasing this message. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. Steven says, is Meghan the brand ambassador for petroleum jelly? Meghan should be the brand ambassador for Durex condoms, but I don't think she uses them. So never mind about that. Maybe KY jelly, because at some point, once you hit a certain age, don't you deal with dryness? Who knows? Okay, now I'm starting to go left. I should get out of here before I start making gobble gobble noises. Anyways, my darlings, I love you all so much. Let me know what you guys think of this latest news about Prince Andrew dropping his titles, and then the news coming out that he is dropping his Order of the Night Garter, his Order of the Garter. He will be dropping that also. I still want to know, is he still Counselor of State? That's what really matters. As long as he's taken off as Counselor of State and he is removed off the royal website, then we'll see if the royal family, if Charles really means what he says, and if he's really putting his money where his mouth is. we'll see about that. But anyways, my darlings, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who sent a super chat, super sticker, a membership. I adore you all so much. I am going to go and fold some more laundry and then make a candy run with my little gremlin. And maybe we will have a members only in about 7-8 hours from now. But make sure you have an eye on my community tab because I will announce it there for you guys. I will chat with you guys later. Bye.